Okay, so one of these puzzles that we on the illegal chess team has created is this one. It's a blocked position which the engine doesn't quite really understand. Stockfish needed quite a lot of time to find the right move. It was able to solve the main idea, but not quite all the sidelines, because this is a blocked position and chess engines aren't that good at like evaluating blocked positions, and there's a Zugschwang which is like it didn't find it in the beginning. So this position was initially evaluated as minus 5.6, which means that black is leading the position. It actually isn't. There is in fact two moves that I've analyzed in this position, one of which leads to a draw, and it is not pawn takes the rook on h5. So I'm gonna go through it first. Then you doesn't quite really understand it. Is this second move? Basically, this position was evolved around the idea of making a blocked position. So the move is a queen to f7 check. Now the queen has to capture, and the best move, according to Stockfish and all the engines and also me, is to take the queen back. These bishops here are blocked by these pawns, okay? So they can't move out at all. They can't move. Well, this bishop can move like this and then go back, but it can't escape from this little box. And the rooks, well, if I capture them, yes, they can escape, but I won't capture them because that would lead to a loss for white. And they can't escape here because this bishop can't move, so they can't escape by any king move. They can capture this pawn, but I won't capture back, so nothing will be working out for black. This is a draw, but the engine doesn't find it. Also, note that I have capped this engine on depth 22. When I evaluated this whole position, and all the moves, I did not have that depth on 22. Basically, this is a blunder because that is a draw. There is actually a move in the starting position that isn't a draw. I can actually play this against the computer if you want to. This is a draw, but first it said that it was a win for black. So I will play it and I will play my move, so you see that it isn't a fluke. It was even minus 18 at the moment. So it even says that that is a good move, not the best move. I don't know who evaluates these positions. You see that it captured my pawn, but I'm just gonna go like this. And there was a repetition. I could have gone for a 50 move rule, but that would just be annoying to watch, I think. So that is of course a blunder. So what is the winning move? Well, the engine already figured this shit out. It knows what the winning move is. It just doesn't know that it is winning, because it misses a move. The only winning move and the best move in this position is to take the rook. And that might be obvious for you, or it isn't. Basically, these rooks are just for evaluation purposes. It wasn't an intention that you could capture this rook. Also, it kind of would be possible if you had a rook here, basically here. Go here with the queen, you go there, captures. That would still be a draw. It was just a coincidence that I put the rook down there. Kind of points was that you wouldn't take it because then you like ripped open your closed position. And it also was coincidence that I had my king here. I just put the kings down so that I could make a closed position. It was just randomly. Had I put the king on this square, or this square, let's say this square, this solution wouldn't have worked. That would be a draw to capture this rook. And that's interesting. Probably if I had the king in the corner, that would probably be a win for black if I would capture this. I haven't analyzed that, but that might be the thing, because the only reason why putting a king here is a draw is that it has time to defend this pawn, which actually is the kind of key pawn, because the queen can take it. Take. That is the only winning move. This queen can't go here. That's just a mate. And all the other squares are sacrifices. And there is like this move. Well, that's a mate in 4. So of course the best move would be to go here. And initially the engine thought this was a draw. Now we play the only winning move, h6. So we go h8. That's the only move. And now is the move that it kind of missed. Before we go into the move that it missed, let's go through kind of the move that it thought was the best. So actually it found this move, which is a draw. King to d4. You still have the problem with that the only moves you can make are sacrifices. So you play g4. That's the only drawing move. You have to take, at least I think. He goes here, and you would go for a check and a check again. And after this have been taken, there's actually 2 drawing moves. Stockfish found them both, but it actually misevaluated one of them, and that's king to c5. The only kind of winning idea for black would be to move the king around and capture this pawn. But the queen can always defend this pawn, and this bishop can't force away the queen. So this is a draw. It's the second time I went through Stockfish. And Stockfish claimed that there was another win. There was another win in this position for white. And it's king to c5. And it's actually evaluated this position as plus 13.4. Crazy, right? And I will give you kind of the idea that it gave. King to c5. And the only reason that this was better is because king to b5. You couldn't have done that if you were on if you were on d5. So king to b5, and let's just play these moves that it thought up. It now gets the queen away. That's amazing. But we also have this perpetual check. But the other bishop can go around and defend those, and it's defended. So the queen won't capture any of these pawns, and none of the white pawns can actually advance, and there is just a queen and a queen against king and king. Wait, sorry. Sorry, it's queen against queen, and that is a draw. Perpetual check. And I don't know how Stockfish found that it was winning. It is actually a draw. You could quite clearly see it. These two are the winning moves in this position. King to e3. Well, no bishop move here, and just queen sacrifices here. Rook sacrifice here. Bishop sacrifice here. Well, we can advance the pawn, so we advance the pawn. The kind of idea was that black was in Zugzwang, but black can continue with the idea that black is in Zugzwang. We can play this move, and black again is in Zugzwang. You have to move a pawn, otherwise you will sack your pieces. So the move that Stockfish chose was to take. You can also play g3, but it would end the same. So take. We go here. Black has to move a pawn. We take the pawn. Black has to move a pawn. We take the pawn. And now we get to the thing. Black has no pawn moves. So what do we have to do? We have to sack. And it's actually best to sack the queen directly. We take, of course, back. And now sack the bishop. Take the bishop. Take with rook. Check. Block with rook. Pawn to g7 check. King has to move. And now there's 2 checkmates. And the one that I personally liked more was just queen to h5 checkmate. Stockfish, greedily as it is, chose to capture this rook. which also works. And that was kind of the whole sort of endgame puzzle. Black is up 15 points of material. 15 points of material. And this is a win for white. And the least you can do is a draw. I mean, who wouldn't found that? That's kind of the whole thing.